Welcome to Library Creamy and welcome to Library Cleaning. Sims 4. The game a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with, and mostly the hatred stems from many DLC you have to buy with your own hard-earned money, and many of those DLCs would look like something a modder would whip up and give away for free, and among them is StrangerVille, a DLC that is supposedly inspired by Stranger Things, which I didn't really watch because I don't like horror or thrillers. I think I bought it only because I ran out of DLCs to cram into a pack when I was trying to get a discount. I just didn't like the creepiness the musty building, and it was just telling me what to do, which I didn't pay any attention to, so I found everything confusing and complicated like real life. But I spent my own money, so yes, we will try to make StrangerVille great, all tolerable. So, to make a place great, we need a politician, I guess. Let's make her name something right. Yes, Sandwich. Ambrosia Sandwich. Sounds disgusting, but that's life, so deal with it. And Ambrosia is a type of salad, so I made her hair green, even though Ambrosia don't really have any green hues in it. But she is going to be a politician, so she should base her entire existence on lies and bullshit. And she'll start her journey of making this village great from this trailer park. I mean, she has money. She can simply type in motherlode and she gonna get some money from the thin air like politicians make money from God knows where. But it will be a fascinating story for her presidential election. So Sandwich starts decorating her humble trailer with a humble budget of 403,496 million. She will grow trees because nature, right? And of course, let's add in a pool that looks swampy, fancy. And let's lay out some fireflies as well. I heard they smell disgusting, by the way. After decorating and deciding on the path to be a politician, Sandwich decides to head on to the local bar. So she's here with Leslie. Hold up, girl, where are you going? Oh, she's gone. Oh well. Let's head to the library because this channel is named Library Creamy. Please subscribe. After getting some useless information from the locals and scientists that only hang out in the library, I felt bad that these scientists were forced to stay in the musty library when military people were allowed to hang out in a musty bar next door. So I decided to make the library a bit better. But my building skill was never good and it's worse now, so I just caused an upheaval. So let's give this guy something to do. Who doesn't like yoga? I don't, but they might. So I made a yoga room, coffee bar, and for no reason at all, another room full of magic cauldrons because I'm a millennial and millennials are suckers for Harry Potters and shit. And I hired a yoga instructor, Lana McKinnon, and she was so zen and shit that this woman right here fell asleep during the session. Lovely. And Sandwich found out that she is living in a culinary desert, literally. So I made her a restaurant by converting an existing house nearby into a mediocre restaurant. And Sandwich had to work, which means she had to ruin everyone's day by yelling out some bullshit in the public. And then she became sad because nobody paid any attention to her. And then Leslie, the girl who ditched Sandwich at the bar the other day, reached out her olive branch by inviting Sandwich to the festival. After getting some Vietnamese food to look cultured and shit, our girl crashes a celebrity busking on the street by yelling out bullshit with a megaphone. And instead of booing her off, some people actually gave her support. After that, she comes back home. She feels loneliness and emptiness. She decides to share the goal of making the town great. She decides that she needed some friends to fight by her side against whatever's causing this whole kerfuffle. And who will be better than a paranoia old man who hates everybody in the town yet staying in the town? So she decides to take on the crazy guy squatting next door, George Cahill, but he doesn't like her, and Sandwich is just so done with this bullshit, so she just walks away, decides to check on him later, but she gives him one more chance by inviting him to visit another neighbors, and she finds out he looks a bit like Steven Seagal, and she's just so tired and so done, so she heads home. We will try with him later. He'll be fine. He looks like Steven Seagal. I built a sort of hideout under the trailer and imported a random sim that I made when I started the game, named Zachary L, because Sims made the name and I was like, I'll take it. I decided to make a new sim who is related to the villagers. I made this stay-in-home father's twin and tried to rebuild their house, but look at it, the house is on fire. The father is very uncomfortable. His twin brother, who is in military, is scared shitless. The girl is scared shitless. The newly born baby is miserable and swimming in the puddle of its own mess. I didn't even know they had a baby. And the mother is also very uncomfortable. So I moved the military guy into the Sandwich household. I was going to make him strong like a bull, husbando for Sandwich. He one day watched a romantic comedy with Zachary and they started flirting, so I just let them do their thing. I mean, Sandwich can get George Kyle after she made some progress with the secret facility, I guess. So our girl Sandwich gathers enough information to get a key card to the facility, and she blackmails random strangers because that is what she should do as a politician, according to some TV shows out there.
Upliva.
Urizap?
After using the key card, she goes in deeper, then she inhales these spores, and this happens. She is possessed. Beautiful. So it turns out, she fucked up. But she can still fix it. She needs something called infection scanner. If she was close with Tyrone, the military guy, she could have gotten it from him, but she didn't really talk to him because she's still bitter about him falling in love with Jackery and shit. She decides to convince this officer. She shows off her guns and the officer laughs it off. So she decides to seduce the officer. What? Really? She just smooches the officer's neck for like 2 seconds and the officer is being like, okay, here you go. Is this girl one of them vampires from Twilight or shit? Like, that was some mind-bending shit. Like, I heard the book is like so good, but like I watched the movie first, so I was like, eh. So with the scanner, Sandwich has together something called Spore Cluster. This started feeling like some sort of MMORPG game, so I decided to gather as many Spore Cluster as possible because everybody becomes hoarders when they play on MMORPG, so it turns out you have to bring this to a scientist to create a Spore Filter mask. This was an MMORPG, wasn't it? I mean, there are no other people around, but like, I never talk to people when I play MMORPG anyway. Anyway, we found this guy with the hairdo of Anne from Green Gables, and we have to befriend him to get the filter. So Sandwich decides to recruit this guy as one of the party members to fight against the Dengue, and she wants to catch 2 birds with 1 stone, so she decides to pay George Kyle a visit. Then it says nobody lives there. George Kyle is nowhere to be found. My guess was he probably died of an old age because I procrastinated even in the game. Ambrosia Sandwich is feeling lost. The man I promised to be her grumpy ex-military father figure who is always having a light-hearted banter with her
Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck.
and later develops a romantic feeling to each other despite the age gap.
Oh, hey, Tom Selleck.
Is gone. But she doesn't even remember the guy, so life goes on. She creates the filter, make Ozma suit out a bit, then she finally encounters what started the whole kerfuffle, the mother plant. The mother takes a gander at Ambrosia Sandwich and instantly rolls with the deepest despise in the world. But Ambrosia Sandwich somehow befriends the plant as if she is Satanissimo. Sorry. She makes some experimental vaccines. When she comes outside, the sky is pretty, but it's apparently a bad sign. She starts throwing water on people's faces like she's from one of them K-dramas, and it looks like she found her next partner, who will be a better candidate to fight the mother plant than somebody who got infected by it. So she throws a party to recruit the last 2 party members, a conspiracy theorist who got infected by the mother plant, and the scientist who wound up in the whole mess but also has a good heart, probably, and also has the hairdo of Anne from Green Gables. They somehow click, probably, and they hang out in a coffee shop after the party, and both of them decides to move into Sandwich trailer because she blackmailed them, probably. So it turns out the conspiracy theorist is actually a high-level secret agent, but he has no fitness or charisma skills like whatsoever. What a world we live in. And the scientist guy becomes unemployed right after he joins the household. Did you get sacked for helping them or something? Anyway, I prepared them by making them work out in a gym. Then after that, with determination and vaccinated body, our heroes face the root of the evil, the mother plant. And Sandwich makes sure that she uses the mother plant until the last moment by asking for its blessing for one last time. Then it turns out you can have only 4 people fighting the mother plant. So Jackery decides to step out. Then the party fails to bring down the mother plant. Oh my god, piss off Jackery. Can't you see we are busy and also we are sad that we missed the lottery day fighting this shit? Piss off. So finally, in the second try, our heroes triumph. The StrangerVille is now little less strange. Hopefully. Let's take a look at our strange little haven again. if you like the video, please be a good lamb and subscribe. Bye.